Hi guys, I'm glad to welcome you all. My name is Anastasia and today I'm holding a workshop where I'll show you how we can configure logic for sugar. I asked you what you want to see today and the winner is update an address for contacts, open lists, open quotes, whenever billing address changes in account. Thank you everyone for your voting. So for implementing this task into life, which actually we are going to do today, I will use special sugar logic configurator tool named Logic Builder. So firstly, let me introduce you what it is and why I'm going to use it. From day to day, we face requirements, tasks from our customers or sugar end users, like this one task, and some of them we can implement by ourselves, but some of them need some code customization. But what we need to do if there is no time or budget for development? So now we can use Logic Builder. Why Logic Builder? Because it's quite simple. It uses some kind of bricks which you connect between each other, and finally you can build a logic for starting from some simple tasks to more complex tasks. So Logic Builder is a SaaS tool, and for working with it you do not need to know any programming language. But you should have some basic knowledge in sugar administration, like what is module, what is field, what is relationship between models, and so on. So the delivery cycle of the delivery and development cycle with Logic Builder may look like this. You have your task firstly, so you clearly understand what you need to do. Then, in Logic Builder, you build a visual presentation of your logic, which is called a flowchart. Then, based on this flowchart, you build a sugar package, which you can deploy into sugar, and finally, you will have a solution. So, let's dive into it and in our today task. First of all, I introduce you into some core concepts and interface. All you need to work with Logic Builder is your browser. So I open my browser and go via link. And now you have a sign-in screen. Here you put your login and password, and if you do not have one, simply sign up on this quick form. I have a login and password, so I'm signing in. And now we are into Logic Builder. What we have here? On the top, there is a menu, and below there is a canvas. It's actually a workspace where you can build your logic. Let's go briefly through menu to know what it consists of. So the first option is a flowchart, and it contains from general managing tools of your flowchart, like save it, load it, or generate sugar package. The next one is edit option, where you can export and import a flowchart source code. The next one, a toolbox, it's a place where all functions are located, which you will use during building your own logic. And finally, there is a quick start. It's a helping hand for you to become familiar with Logic Builder. It contains all necessary options and most commonly used bricks that you can use to build your very first flowchart. So we briefly know where we are. Let's look what to do. I said that Logic Builder allows you visually design your logic. Let's stop for a moment here, and what does it mean, visually design? So you build your logic using some kind of bricks. These bricks are located in toolbox section, and to bring the brick on the canvas, you need just find out which you need one here in menu. And for example, let me say I want this, and click on it with left mouse button. So here we have our first brick. Let's take a closer look at it. What it has. On the top there is a name of this brick. And now I want to introduce you to the second term of Logic Builder. It's operator. This brick is called operator, and it performs some kind of function. So on the top there is a name which guides you what exactly this operator do. For example, set entity attributes, update values in the fields of a model. Next, operator has inputs on the left side and outputs on the right side. So basically, you put some data into this operator. Operator performs some logic, and then in output you have modified data. So now one more thing. Here is icon. You can click on it, and here is a hint what this operator do, what it has as inputs and as outputs. But our logic, it is not just a brick, but it's a brick that are located in special order. And when we want to define an order, we use links. So for example, I put another one operator here, and to determine the order of this operator execution, I need to link them between each other. So how I can do this? Very simple. We have output, which actually called port. I click on it and connect to input in other operator and release mouse button. What we have now, we perform this operator and then this operator. And the link that connects these two operators, white one, is called a control flow link. Why control? Because it determines the order of operators execution. Control flow links built from control flow ports, which are triangle white one. And you may see that there is other one. For example, here is red colored, and this kind of data ports actually called data ports. And as it may guess from name, it determines how data flow through your process, through your flow. And the process of connection is some kind the same as for control flow. You just click here and connect where you need. Basically, this is a core concept, and now we are going to build our logic so we can see how it works on practice. Let's recall firstly our task. We need to update an address for contacts, open leads and open quotes whenever billing address changes in account. So we're now in Logic Builder, and what we need to do firstly, and every time when you start to use Logic Builder, you need to connect to your sugar. What for? To get all metadata with which you are going to work. Where you can do this? There is in flowchart menu, set point import sugar metadata. Open it. Here in sugar URL, you type the URL to your sugar. I'm using Sugar Vanilla version 7.11 in Sugar demo environment. So here's my link. Next, you need to input login and password from Sugar user, like admin, and here is my password, and click import. Now all metadata, like models, relationships, are coming, let's say in this way, to the Logic Builder. So if you have any kind of customization, custom models, custom fields, you will be able to work with them in Logic Builder. And one small remark about connecting to Sugar. As you may know, starting from Sugar 7.11, all custom platforms should be registered firstly in order to connect. So the main thing that I've done to my Sugar instance is that I deployed a Sugar Logic Builder platform registration package. It's a usual Sugar package, so I just uploaded it in my Sugar, and that is all. And it allows me to connect from Logic Builder to Sugar. So now we are connected, and let's start actually. First of all, let's clear our working space. For this, I may click New Flowchart, so everything disappeared, and I can start from empty page. So what we need to do first, of course, after we connected to Sugar, everything have a start. So the flowchart also have a start point. This start point determines when our logic should fires. So as the start elements, Logic Builder offers you several operators. The first one, now I'm going to the toolbox section where all operators are located, and I'll show you the first one. It is called on data change. Let me zoom in. For zooming in, I'm using scroll button on my mouse. So on data change, it means whenever change occurs in the record, our logic actually starts. For example, when user opens the record, for example, account record, change data in fields, click Save button. So that is a condition to start our logic. Or then another example is creating a record. It's actually a data change also. And the second one, start element that I want to show you, called on link change. Idea of this operator that it starts when relationship between two records is changed. For example, when new contact added to account or opportunity added to account. So it means link between two records changes. What we are going to use now, our requirement is to change an address. So requirement is change to address when address changes in account. So it's on data change. Now let's remove unnecessary operator. For this, I select it by click on left button and then click on right button of my mouse and call a context menu. And here I have delete selected items. Click. So we are with our first start element. As you may see, there are two empty fields here. So we need to configure our first element. In the first module, we need to define a module, changes in which fires our logic. So whenever billing address changes in account, our module is account. I choose it here. Here is a list of all modules from your Sugar. We choose account. And the next option that we need to configure, it's define when our logic should be played. I mean, it fires before the record is actually saved or after this. Actually, now we do not have, it's no matter for us when. Let's choose after save. So what we've done is that we've pointed a very first element, a start element, which means that every time when changes in accounts occur. Let's proceed. We need to define that not any changes were in account. I mean, like changing name and so on. We are focused on address. So in other words, we may say that previous value of address is not equal to new one. When we have a condition, and it is a condition or criteria, we are using a special operator which is called branch. Put it here. For moving your working space, just hold your right mouse button and move your mouse and your screen will follow you. So, branch. Branch divide our flow on true or false based on the condition that we input here. Our condition is that address changes. How we can check these changes? Simply enough, we need to compare current value with previous one. Where we can get these values, look at the onData change operator. Here we have output called entity, and we have output called previous values. In entity, you have your account record as it is going to save, so with changes. And previous values, as it may read from its name, you have previous values of all fields that were before changes. So now we just need to get from this entity the values from address fields. When we need to get values from entity, we use operator get entity attributes and put it here. As you may see, now there is nothing here, but as soon as I specify the entity, so I put my account here and here all account fields, and we are looking for address. Address is not only one field, it's a complex field. So let's start from street. For example, billing street. Yes? What we have now, we have value in billing street of account. And now we are using get entity attributes one more time to get the previous value of billing street. So again, we use billing street. And now we need to check that these two values doesn't equal each other. For this we have an operator A is not equal to B. Put it here is A. As an A we have a current value in billing street, as a B a previous value of billing street. Yep. So billing street is not enough, I think, for us. So let's get more fields. For this, I click on plus button, and now I can pick up, for example, a postal code, billing postal code, and from previous values, I get a billing postal code and compare each other. Again, billing postal code is not equal to previous one. Let me just move it here and here. And what we have? We have state, billing state. Again, we said that they are not equal each other. State, then we have city, billing city, billing city. Where is my city? Oh, here's it. And again, we need to define that they are not equal each other. And finally, we have one more field, it is country, and here we have country. And lastly, we need to set, let me zoom out, that they are not equal each other. So we combined all address fields and said that they should not equal each other. And now we need to combine all these conditions. For this, we can use OR operator, for example, or AND. Or when we use OR operator, we will say that at least one of these conditions is true. So if billing street was changed, or postal code, or city, or state, or city, or country. And all this result we put into branch. So it is our condition that at least one of these conditions is true. So, for example, when only billing street changes, we will go on true flow here. And now we need to link our first element with this one, because when you see that operator has a input control flow port, this triangle, it means that it should be in control flow. It means that before this operator should be something, for example, like this on data change. Starter operator on data change do not have any kind of this port, so which defines that it is a starter operator. And as you may see, some operators do not have any control flow ports. That means they are not in control flow. How we can read this flow? Whenever changes in account occurs, we checked condition. And what condition? We go here and we see that there are several fields, and we compare current values with previous one. Okay, so we built our condition. Time to do some action. How we can do this? Let's recall our requirement, what we need to do. So whenever billing address changes, we need to update an address for open leads, contacts, and open quotes. Let's start from leads, for example. And what we know is that leads are related to our account. Why I point this out? Because we have a special operator, retrieve related entities. Let's put it on the canvas. Here it is, retrieve related entities. Here we have an input port entity. That means that we need here specify the entity related to which we are going to find records. For example, leads are related to account, so here we need to specify an account. Where we have an account, it was on beginning, so let's return to the beginning. So here is entity of our account. Click here and put it here. And now in link name you have all relations with account. We are looking at a relationship named leads. So now we have all leads, and we need to proceed to retrieve these leads when our conditions are met for others, and we put from true control flow to retrieve related entities. So now we have all leads that are related to our account. On the output, there are actually several output ports. It's the control flow port, and below there are data ports. First one is entities, and it's square. Square says us that there are several records here, several entities in this port. For example, if we have 5 related leads to our account, here will be all 5 leads. Below entities number allows you quickly receive a number of leads. For example, it will be 5. And single entity means that you have only one lead here, randomly pick, or if you're sure that there is only one lead, so you may use this output port. But our case for now is to use this one, because we need to update an address for each lead, and we don't know how many of them can be for account. When I say for each lead, I mean that for each lead that we find, we need to perform actions, and this action is an update, an address. So we need repeatedly for each record update values in address field. So I bring you to the term loop or cycle. We can build loops here. For this, there is a special operator for each entity. So as we say in words, for each lead update an address. Here's operator for each entity. Here in this operator is some kind of unique because it has 4 control flow ports. Input 1 is to determine the previous operator, for example. Now it's retrieve related entities. And then in output we have loop body and completed. In loop body you specify the actions that will repeat for every lead. For example, we will update address for each lead that we find. And when we run out from all these leads, or your flow will go to completed flow to perform other actions. And break here, it allows you to stop your loop. For example, if you need to find only first one record that meets your criteria, you can guide your control flow from loop body to the break, and then your control flow directly come to completed port. So let's build the body of our cycle. And first of all, we need to specify a number of entities that not numbers, sorry, we need to specify entities that we are going to work with. Let's return a little bit. So here we have all related to our account leads. Here, actually them, and we input them here. And now we need to work with each lead separately. That means that we are going to update address. We have a small condition here that we need to work only with open leads. That means that we need to check status of the lead. Again, we have has a condition or criteria, so we use branch operator and put it here. And now we need to specify a condition. Our condition is a status of the lead. So we need to get value in the status field from lead. When we need to get value, we use get entity attributes. And here we specify an entity. Now it is our lead. Here we have one particular lead from a number of leads. So we put it here. And let's find out our field status. Here it is our status. So now we need to compare this value with values that we can call an open lead. Previously, let me return a little bit, we compared values between two fields like billing street and billing street. And now we need to compare a value in field with constant. For this, in toolbox section, you may find, let me scroll a little bit, here, see, it is constants. Here we have several types of constants. We know that field status in leads is a drop-down. So let's choose drop-down constant here, and let's find the name of our drop-down. It should be something like lead status, for example. Yes, pick up it. And then let's define what does it mean open lead. Open lead means that it is not dead, so we use our previously used operator A is not equal B, as A our status value in status field, and here's our constant day. And one more condition that we are going to do is check that lead is not converted. So again we use constant, again we use a is not equal b, as a our value in status field, as b our value converted, our constant. And we need again to combine all these two conditions, and for now we will use AND operator. We combine these two conditions and put result in branch. So when we have our lead, we need to check that its status is not dead and is not converted. If yes, it means that our lead is open. What we need to do is update values in address fields. For this, when we need to update or set values into fields, there is an operator with the same name, set entity attributes. Again, here is nothing, but as soon as you specify the entity, it is our lead. We put it here, and now we need to pick up all address fields. We pick up street, we pick up city, state, mistyping, state, what we have, postal code, and country. So now we define all fields that we want to update, and now we need to define a value which we want to put in these fields. When we want to get some values from fields, we use get entity attributes again. Let me do this. So we need to get values from address street from our account, and we need to find where we have account. I think that we have account only on the beginning. Here it is, our account record. So let's put it here. Now we here is account, and here all fields from our account. So we again choose our address fields like billing street, and we say that we want to put billing street value into primary address street in lead. Then we want to put billing city value from account into lead. And in the same way for all others, billing state in primary address state, postal code in postal code, lead postal code, and account country into primary address country. So now we set up all values into address field, and we need to do this only when lead is open, so when all these conditions are true. We link true control flow port with set entity attributes. And the last thing that you need to do to save all changes is save a record, like user in Sugar. You change value and fields in fields, and then save your record. So what we've done now, let's recall. We retrieve our leads records that are related to account, and then we start to work with each lead separately. We check whether this lead is open, and if yes, we update values in address fields and save an entity. And these actions will be repeated for every lead. So we have one lead here, we go through all this flow, the second one, and so on, how many the leads are. And now let me show you some features. So Now I'm going to select all these operators by holding my left button of the mouse, like this, release them, and then click right mouse button to call context menu and click comment selected items. You see all these elements are highlighted. It's some kind of commenting to increase readability of your flowcharts. So here we can define a comment like update address, update lead address, for example. Okay. So so now you have a comment in your flow. We completed updating all address in lead. What we need to do next is update address in contacts. For this, we need to return to completed for each entity operator and start to work from completed flow. Now we need to update address for contacts, and we know that contacts are related to accounts as well. Again, we will use retrieve related entities. Here we put it into canvas. We put from completed flow here, and again we need to specify our account here to get all related contacts. Let me return to the beginning of our flow, and I pick account here, and I need to input this account into retrieve related entities here. And now again I have all relations here, and for this relation for now I'm looking for contacts, so I choose it from list. And again we are going to work with each contact separately. We will use for each entity operator. Now we define that here we need to find out all contacts. Yep. And now we do not have any conditions because we update address for all contacts. So let's simply proceed to updating values in field. For updating or setting values into fields, we use set entity attributes operator here. We put it onto canvas. We link with control flow. We specify our entity. It is contact now, but the fields are the same. It's primary address street, it's city, it's state, it's postal code, and it is country. Now we need to put values from account address fields, and I do not want to go far. Here you already used these values, so we simply link from here to here, from account attributes to the contact attributes. So we link all these values, link account billing postal code with primary address postal code in contact, and the same for billing country. And when we put values, we need to save our record. When we want to save record, we use save entity operator. Just put it in control flow and say what entity you want to save. So let's zoom out a little bit. Let me move this operator by holding my left button on mouse here just for some beauty. So what we've done now, when we run out from all leads, we updated address for leads. We proceed to contacts, and the same as we done for leads, we update attributes for our contact, address attributes for our contact, and we retrieve values for address from our account and save our contact. And finally, what we have? We have left open quotes. We know that quotes are related to accounts, and we can do in the same way as we done. But just for a showcase, I show you one more way. This way is useful when your records is not related to each other. There is an operator called retrieve entities by attributes. Here it is. Let me zoom in. So here's our retrieve entities by attributes, and it works in very similar way as you perform searching in Sugar. You navigate to module, and in list view you define you pick up some filters, define values for these filters, and Sugar return to you all records which meet these criteria. The same logic is here. You define a module. This is quotes for us, quotes. And then you pick up a field that you are looking for. For example, we are looking for billing account ID. Here it is. And we need to specify an ID of this account. So again, we need to retrieve value account ID. Here we need to specify our account. We have it on the beginning, on the very beginning of our flow. So I returned to the beginning and pick up account and bring it to this operator and put it here. And then I pick up ID and link with this field. So here I want to find out quotes which have billing account ID, the same as our current account ID. And one more thing that I want to define, that quotes have status, open status. Actually not status, but stage, I believe. Yes, it's quote stage. So we want to define the value of stage that we are looking for. And again, I'll use constant drop down. Here it is. Let me just here. So we need to define here the name of our drop down. It's quote stage should be, yes, stage. And let's choose draft. So we are going to update all quotes that are in draft stage. And now we need to link from completed port here in retrieve entities by attributes. And then I think you already know what we are going to do. We are going to work with each quote. So we are using for each entity operator. Put it here and say that for each quote we want to update address. We do not need to build a condition here because we already sort out only those quotes that are in draft stage and are related to our account, and for relation we use ID field. So as we done for contacts and for leads as well, we use set entity attributes field, operator, set entity attributes, and in loop we update. For now it will be billing street, billing city, billing state, postal code, and country. Oops, not ID, country. Where is country? Here it is, country. And values we are going to use, to zoom out, as we used for leads and contacts. simply link account billing street to billing street in quote, billing city from account to quote, state from account to quote, postal code from account to quote, and country from account to quote. And when we change all values in fields, we want to save our entity. Pick save entity. Actually, we've done building our logic. Let's zoom out and take a look on our flow. A quick remind what we've done. So whenever changes in account occurs, we checked whether those changes was in address field. We combined several conditions here. We defined whether previous value is not equal to a new one, and if yes, we retrieve all related to our account leads and start to work with each lead separately. We built a loop where we walk through every lead and defined whether it's open by comparing lead status with some constants, and then we update value in lead fields with values from account address fields and save our lead entity. And this loop is repeatedly performed for every lead. When we're done with leads, we proceed to contacts. In the same way, we retrieve related to our account contacts, and for each contact, we update address street with values from account billing address. And when we've done with contact, we finished with quotes, and we try to find out quotes not by using relation, but by using search by attributes, using account ID and quote stage. And in the same way, we update quote billing address with values from account billing address. We do not need to put anything from completed because it is the end of our logic. Let me put some theory again here. As you may see, data flows which are colored one, for example, this blue one, when I select some, it becomes yellow. It's a link or operator, so it's highlighted in yellow. So the data links, you can link as many as you need from output. For example, I use billing street from accounts in several loops, so I just link from this operator every time where I need it. But when we are talking about control flow link, white one, we cannot do in this way. Why? Because white link determines the order of operator's execution. For example, it's like, let me just come back a little bit. So we have 1, 2, 3. We perform this operator, then this, and then this. If we put, for example, from here, here, not we, nor system knows where we should go. So that's why we can't use control flow, several control flow links from ports. By the way, when you start to link something and you see that you do not need this link, just simply click right button and click cancel linking. So that is all. When you need to, if you need to divide your control flow, you use branch operator, which divides it on true, on false, or false flows based on condition. So, okay, we've done with our building. Let's return to flowchart. And now we want to save our flowchart for further modifications or sharing. So we are going to save flowchart section. And here, where is written custom logic, we need to we should define a new name for our flowchart. What we've done here, for example, update address for account or for leads, contacts and quotes from account. Something like this. You may use what you need and click on save button. And when this loading screen disappears, it means that we save our logic. And now we need to deliver this logic to the sugar. How we can do it? We go down to the generate sugar package section, open it, and here we have generate button. Click on it. And here you may see that it is downloading the zip package that can be deployed into sugar. So we are going now to sugar. This is my sugar instance, and I'm going to administration section. Then I go to the module loader. So now I'm going to upload this package from Logic Builder as any other usual sugar package. I go to module loader, and here I simply download the package that was built in Logic Builder. So here's my downloads. I open it and upload. And after this, I click install and commit. So this is a usual way to deploy changes into sugar, and this package was built in Logic Builder based on flowchart that we built. Obviously, the sugar do not understand flowcharts, but it understands PHP code. So in Logic Builder, when we generated sugar package, our flowchart transformed to a PHP code and combined into a sugar package. So our logic is deployed. So I think it's time to check it, how it works actually. For this, we are going to account. I prepared some account. Here it is. So here's my account. This account has a billing address, obviously. So let's open related. For example, let's pick up one contact, and also let's pick up two leads. Why two? Because one of them is open and the second one is closed. It means that we shouldn't update address there. And finally, let's open the quote. Yep. So briefly, look, we have some address here. It's the same as account, I think. Yep. So let's proceed to updating account, billing address. We press edit, go here, and let's update our address field. For example, here we update street, city, update state, and let's update country and save our record. Now we saved account, and let's look into contact. Here's address as it was. Let's update our page to see the result. I hope you see too. Here is an address that we recently set it for account. The same way is in lead. So here is lead. Let me check status. It's dead. So here's address, and now we refresh a page. and I believe that address is not changed. Yep, it remains the same. And finally, let's look on the quote. Here's our quote. Let's update it to see the result. Okay, here is our address that we set it for account. But what you are going to do if you need to bring some changes? For example, if you do not want to update address in lead, for example, if it is not the same as in account. So for this, you go to Logic Builder. Then you, in Load Flowchart section, find out your flowchart via name. So how you named it. Click on Load. Actually, it's currently open, so it doesn't download. But you load here. You perform changes in interface, and as we done, you go to save your changes and generate in Sugar package. Then you return to Sugar, and the important thing here that you need to delete previously installed logic. I mean that you navigate to module loader, and in list of deployed packages, you find out the package that you deployed with this logic, you uninstall it, and after successful uninstalling, you deploy a new one logic. And that is all. That is how changes can be applied into Sugar. Actually, I think that is, oops, not this. Okay, so actually that is all what I want to show for you today. If you want to see, to know more about Logic Builder, read what it can done more, you can visit our site. You are welcome to visit our site, and you can contact us in any convenient way. I'm afraid that we are, okay, we have 3 minutes, so let me check some questions. So we have one question. Hi there. Hi, can I connect multiply Sugar instance such as prod and test? Actually, yes. Let me just return to Logic Builder. So here is my flowchart. Yes. So in import Sugar metadata section, here you connect it to prod. And for example, for test, okay, let it be test. And if you want to connect to prod, you simply here change your URL, login and password, and connect. Actually that is all. So you can connect to any instances as you want here. No technical limitations here. But one more thing, that you can connect to instance, and then you deployed a package. So this flowchart, actually, when you work in Logic Builder, doesn't influence in any way on Sugar. Directly here in Logic Builder interface, we just get metadata from Sugar, and then separately here we use operators, things, and combine a logic. And then by generating Sugar package on your computer, downloaded package which can be uploaded. So this package you can upload on test or on prod or any instance that you want. So that is all. I suppose that we have one more last question. I think is Logic Builder is free. Please visit our site integrascrm.com in section Logic Builder and check out our pricing and conditions. So I'm afraid we are running on time, but I have all your questions, and obviously I answer all of your questions directly for you for email. Thank you again, for everyone who watching. Hope to see you soon, and bye bye.